Hi friends, I could not do USA 2026 predictions as I have done earlier years. Today is 9th of January. So if I'm going to do the whole thing properly, it's going to take a long time. And what I thought is what is happening these days, uh, the Venezuela issue, the situation, and what is happening these days, I thought I need to look at it at least a month or two, so this is what there is some very important situations likely to happen. Looking at these 2 months, it's an amazing situation. But I would really say you need to look at my 2025 predictions and then see whether, or my 2024, 2023 predictions, and see whether what I say is correct to the dates like this. Even in this one, like government shutdown leading to this peak, right? And then the government reopened right after this peak on 13th. These days don't happen by mistake. These dates happen because it's meant to be. You can see that I try to update what was happening. Unfortunately, it's all my notes here. What was happening at each period, even though I could not follow every single day. So that's what it is. But I would say, anyone first look at this one. It's only 6 minutes. I would have done a very detailed one than this, but didn't get a time at that time, and now also time issue. So I'm going to do the 2 months for 2026 and also look at what really happens with the Venezuela situation from the point of karma, to US, from USA side, right? So this is what I did. This is what I did. This is more detailed one than the earlier one, right? So this is because I didn't have time to do the whole year and summarize and come through with all of that. It was really hard. That was what was happening. So this is US karma. Everything that happens, you see things on the mundane level. You will say President Trump did this, President Trump did that, and he's bad, or whatever that you want to say, That is not the reason why things happen. Things happens because of collective karma of each nation. Right? Even for a personal chart, it's your collective, it's your karma that runs your life, nothing else. So collective karma of USA as well as collective karma of, if you look at, now today is the 9th that I'm doing this, right? I started from January 1 to look at what was happening, but it's so clear in this date here, on January 3rd at 1 something p.m., right? Where the President Maduro was taken out of Venezuela. If you look at it in this time, sixth house is considered the house of conflicts. Like you can see 6 planets pretty much going in the 6th house. That is what happened. Like if you look at Sun going in the 6th house now, right? This was started probably about 15th of December, and then now it's continuing like that. And then Mars, forces. Mars represents forces, and that's also going in the 6th house. Sorry, yeah. And then this is the 6th house. And also Mercury going in the 6th house, right? House of conflicts, house of conflicts, house of conflicts. And then the Venus going in 6th house too, right? And the Jupiter going in the foreign country house, or losses, expenses like that, in the 12th house. And then Saturn going in the 9th house of good fortune here, right? And then the Rahu is going in 8th house of like a lot of obstacles, death and destruction kind of stuff. And that is what was happening. So if we look at it on the 3rd January, what happened was that the sun, I don't want to go into very detail here, this is a negative day here. This is a positive day here. The US forces get out of Venezuela without any, getting much damage. This is it. This is at the peak of, this is a peak of the forces on that day, right there like that, right? And then we have this major one that's going now is also there at close to a karmic point, right? And then this is why, these are the reasons why this operation was successful and done on that particular date, because this is clearly peak of that. And then the following day, government, you can see President Trump was saying, okay, very good, we did the thing without having to lose anything. You can see that these two are positive, right? So what is happening now is, after this 9th, actually these are negative ones. You can see some negative events happens in USA. I think the negative events were quite a bit of them. Like you had the domestic, this lady getting killed by the ICE officer, and I think it's the international conflicts, legal controversy of Venezuela, political polarization there, and then the economic warnings, right? You can see cost leading to a record low consumer sentiment, like that, right? So these days are negative. These days are negative. This is why we're hearing that. So today is actually peak of this one, and then but on the other side, this is Rahu aspecting Saturn, which is the most malefic planet. Ketu is for conflicts. Ketu is for bad events, right? Wars, blood, and those kind of stuff. Aspecting Saturn is the most malefic planet. That is also death and destruction. But because there's this slow transit that goes down here, we are looking for major event peaking on this date. Definitely. We are going to see some more events happening here. Of course, these are negative here. And I said in here, I put the color, what the negative as well as what's positive days. Considering these kind of a major transit happening, and it's continuing long after that, a major event can trigger here, right? Like close to any of these times, it can trigger here. But whatever that happens is the major event will be on this time, 27th of January. 28 is a good day, so whatever that happening is, there is something that's going to be good as well. Something to be, say, okay, whatever our actions were successful or whatever that is, there can be loss of life, and that's for sure. This could be somewhere a war kind of thing. Major conflict involving death and destruction. That's what's going to happen. And then after that, whatever triggers in here continues for a long time, unless some corrective measures are not taken, because it's going to go way after February. I'm doing this for February 27th. That is what will happen. Without a question, this is a major transit here. This is how karma works. So whatever happens with this event People going to, stand up, and media and everybody going to say, oh my God, why did he do this, or why did he do that, like that, try to blame someone. It is not the way that it happens. This is karma of the nation. Whatever other nations that are going to be involved, particularly other nations are going to be involved because of certain planets going in the seventh house. So, a lot of seventh house, after this sixth house thing that I tell you about, all of these ones, right? And the moon was in sixth house too sometime. And then after that, all of these are going to seventh house of long-term partners, other countries, right? So there will be some kind of a conflict between the other countries, not being happy of whatever that's, happening. So that is what I see in this case. You can see other negative dates that I highlighted like this. These are going to have events also, like this. These are going to have, I'm not sure about this, what will happen. Unlikely a very major one, but there's something positive in here also, right? This is how life works, there is what you see on mundane level is not what truly happening. What is happening is how God works, pretty much, how the karma works. And if there's a change needs to be done, it has to be used the most powerful nation of the world, which is USA. That is what happens. It's pretty much, these things are planned from long time ago, and President Trump was elected, to create change in the world. That's what is happening in here. If like let's say in Venezuela, if a leader like that continue and a country chart is such a bad situation, you can see my Venezuela one also. You will see what happened there. These countries need changes happening. So it is a positive event. Whenever we see something really negative, it's a positive event at the end of the day. Some later on in the history is written, then you will see this is with this event, country change into a different situation. Of course, we are going to lose some lives and stuff like that, and the money and all that. It is not, there's no perfect people in this world. If you think, okay, we are going to do this such and such a date, these are the dates going to happen. No, no one is smart. That is what I can tell you. Okay? I hope I put some light onto what is yet to happen. Like probably closer to end of this month, yeah. And then let's see what will happen. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, This is the highest knowledge in this world. There's nothing higher than this. Okay, all right. Thanks. Bye for now.